Hi everyone. So my name is Ejaz. I work for a company called Advania UK. I'm a developer architect and also Microsoft MVP. So I'll be showing you a build a SPFx web part ideally to show and use the different Copilot APIs available at the moment. So yeah, I'll just look into this one and then we'll see how it goes. So first of all, all the Copilot APIs, what are available in terms of and what are the status at the moment. Please do check again because some of them are GA, but some of them are still in the preview. For example, we have in the Copilot APIs, we have retrieval APIs. If we have any RAG pattern already established in your apps, so you can use the retrieval API and get the result from the M365 and give it to the RAG, your own RAG, to use that. You have search API if you want to, which uses the both hybrid and lexical searches. Interaction API for the capture and archive Copilot instructions, change notifications, meeting inside API, chat APIs, which you've already seen in the first demo, and the user reports API, package management API. So yeah, please do check on the Microsoft Learn. We have a Copilot API page. So today we will be looking into, in terms of the web part, I've added the support for these 4 APIs at the moment, where you can go and play around, and see what is needed in terms of the permission, etc. And how to set it up and how to run. So first of all, chat API, we've already seen. Then we have a search API, meeting inside API, and then the usage API. So if you go to the next, in terms of the web part, what it looks like before I show you the demo. So as I said, I've part of the V1 for this one. I'm only adding these 4 tabs where chat, search, meeting, and reports. So might be as a V2 for this sample, I'll be adding additional APIs tabs as well, where you can just go and play from the SharePoint SPFx web part, if you have a Copilot license, of course. So in terms of the technical architecture, before I show the demo, it's like, hey, we have a SPFx web part. We create a bunch of services based on the API we're using, like a chat service, search service, meeting insight, using the Graph API. Copilot, all the APIs are available under the Microsoft Graph. And then, of course, you need the Microsoft 365 Copilot license in order to, and we need to approve a bunch of permissions as we do normally. So skip that. So high-level features for the chat APIs. I'm going to skip this because we've already gone through this one. This search we can look into. We have a natural language, hybrid and lexical, both are available. Some configurable page sizes available, highlighted matches terms. Then meeting insights, you can go and give the meeting ID and get the insight of, like we normally get in the Microsoft Teams, all the AI summaries and action, etc. You can get all these via that API, and you can integrate into your app. User report, you can see, the actual user report, how many users are using actively, and where this is being used, etc. So again, this is in some of them are preview beta, so they can change. So yeah, let's look into the demo quickly. So I'll just go to this page. So so this is the chat tab. So what we do is, let me just refresh just in case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy the link of one of my document in my document library. So I'm going to just paste the link here so we can add as a file reference. So I want to search within this file. Then you can just add the path to that document which you want to have a conversation with. Or if you don't want to talk about that document, you can just enable the web search. It will just go out into the, look for the web search. So I'll just disable the web search. I want to talk to my document and have some question about. So like, for example, this is about employee handbook. So I'm going to say, hey, what is this? Any question? So yeah, let's go and ask the Copilots. It does take a little while I mean, not to, so it's going to go and create the conversation ID you could saw, and then it's going to send the request to the API, check all my, if a valid license, and then it will send the result back. So yeah, I said it take a slightly few more seconds, I would just say, compared to normal if you make a Graph API request. Yeah. There you go. So because I've enabled as a render markdown, this is just, I've just added the toggle, so you can, get a response like a, so you can show you to the user proper like a response from the chat, not just, and then we have you can add some of the references as well where this get from. Yeah, so you can have a chat about this. You can add some further within the same conversation. I can ask some more question about this one. Yes, vice versa. It will use the same conversation ID and then it can respond. So that's what chat API look like. And then what basically in this sample, I have this information panel. So if you click on this, you can see the endpoint, what the endpoint you need, then also what are the required permission you need in order for this API to work. Again, this might change in the future, but just keep checking. So this is to make sure you have added these permissions in the API permission page. If you need a license, what are the current limitation as we speak at the moment? So all these things are listed on the information panel. So if I go and with the same question now with the second search tab, and then search this. So search is a bit more faster compared to the chat. So you can see here I've got the result back. This is my employee handbook. And again, with a similar, with a search endpoint as well, it will tell you what permission do you need if you want to play around with the search licensing and what are the current limitations you have with the search Copilot Search API. Meeting insight, if you have a meeting, you need a meeting ID. You can see here, you can grab the meeting ID via the Me Online Meeting, which I can share you here. So you can go to your Me Online Meeting. And if you have a join web URL for that meeting, you just go to that endpoint, it give you the meeting ID. So here I've already got meeting ID, which I have sampled. So I'm going to go and put the meeting ID here and get insight about that meeting ID. You can see this is my meeting insight, caller created, meeting ended. This is my meeting notes. This is my action item. So you can get all this information. And the bottom of that, one thing I forgot to show you that in each tab, I'm showing the JSON response as well. So you can see what you get from the API. So you can see, etc. So it's available in the both search and the chat and etc. as well. So then we have a user report. So you can, in the user report, you can see, the required permission, what were the roles, minimum roles you need, other supported roles, and the licensing limitation. So you can all the information which is associated with the chat user report API. Then you can select whether you 30 days, 7 days. So I'm going to just, because I'm the only user who has a Copilot license in here, or yeah, so that's where you can see that the activity is all about me. Last activity and all the various applications like Copilot, OneNote, Outlook, etc. So you can see all these instructions in the user API. So yeah, so in terms of the code, very straightforward. We have, if I go to this web part, so start with web part. So we go into this one, then we have a different tabs like a chat, search, meeting, etc. So we go into the chat, for example. This is a chat tab. When we send a message, let's say send a message from the chat, first of all, we go ahead and create the Copilot conversation when we've got the message, and then we send a message to the Copilot chat service. And then if you go into this message, it will just, I'm building the payload, which I needs to send to the part of this endpoint, and then it's sending this request body, and I get the response back. So yeah, simple. I've got all the different chat services available. As I said, services available for chat, search, and the meeting insight and usage API. So yeah, hope, and if I go to the packager solution, I can show you all the web API permissions which I've added, which needed for all these 4 tabs. But yeah, so I'll make sure they're all approved from your tenant before you use this. Otherwise, it will be failed. Right, that's all from me. If you have any question, happy to answer the question.